Everyone craves space and wants things to stay tidy, but climbing conventional attic stairs is risky, and renting storage is costly and inconvenient. A rack above has the solution. A freestanding overhead storage rack that requires no drilling, no attachment, and no garage cleaning. It's the safest, smartest, and strongest way to store your extra items at home and within reach. Your garage items are off the floor and your car is inside. Your peace of mind is restored. Be it in a patio villa or a premier home, a rack above fits your space and keeps you safe. Use it here, then take it to your next home. A rack above.
Well, hello everybody, and welcome to Gold Wingnut Live. This is episode number 53, which means we've been doing this every week, so it's been just over a year that we've been doing this every week. I missed 2 weeks. One was Christmas week, and I was on a cruise ship that day, and the other was my wife's birthday and Mother's Day. So, sometimes you just have to miss an episode. If you value your sanity. Welcome everyone. So I got a couple of things we're going to go over today, but first I want to go over Florida Sunshine Law. Just because, as most of you know, I'm a county commissioner. So if there is something you want to ask about that might be coming before the county commission, I'm really not at liberty to talk about it. Oh boy, looks like the volume's a little bit loud. All right, that should be better. I'm not at liberty to talk about something that's going to be coming before the board. If it's general knowledge, no problem. I can discuss that. I can discuss a lot of things about the county, but if I feel it's something that that I may have to be making a vote or a decision on, I'm not going to discuss it, and I'll let you know that. But beyond that, pretty much everything's an open slate. You can call me at 352-661-6175 and ask your questions. You can text them to me in the chat window. Bleh. I can't talk today. Wow. So let's see. All right. So what? Oh yeah. Last week's audio. Last week's audio, we had some difficulties because I had the microphones inside my pocket, and every time I moved, the pocket material would rub across it, and that kind of screwed things up. That's why if you look right here, these are my microphones that I'm using. They're wireless microphones. This time they're on the outside of my shirt, so hopefully that will fix our sound problems. All right. Let's see what we got. Mark Edwards says, oh my God, news reports Hooters is soon filing for bankruptcy. It's going bust. Oh gosh. Boom. All right. Wait, I can do that. All right. Anyway, so let's talk about that because there's some confusion on bankruptcy. Bankruptcy doesn't mean they're going out of business, okay? They have filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy, which is a restructuring of debt. Most people think of bankruptcy, they think of Chapter 7, which is for a business when they're going out of business and they can't pay their bills and everything gets liquidated. Well, that's not what Chapter 11 is. Basically, they're running into cash flow problems, and therefore they can't meet the obligations that they have under the current terms. So they're just renegotiating their debt. Sometimes creditors won't come to the table voluntarily to restructure debt, which when that happens, sometimes bankruptcy is the solution, because then the courts force them to come to the table. Now, if they don't accept the terms of the restructuring that the court comes up with, then they can move to Chapter 7. That's it. Do I think that it's going to impact us? No. In fact, I was just there yesterday shooting some more video of Hooters, the way it's being built, and they're going like crazy. Hello, Jerry. Hello, Jim. Jay Cozy from the Marshall Islands. Hello, everybody. Wow. Let's see. Wow, let's see. Charlie wants to know, hi Don, do you know if the villages have been able to find any new tenants for the restaurants that were vacated by Margarita Republic and the World of Beer in Spanish Springs? I haven't heard anything yet. These are things that are kept very close to the chest, so I'm going to hear them the same time you will probably. And in all honesty, my focus is in Sumter County. It's in the newer areas of the villages, documenting what's going on here and trying to give people good information that are new here. But I think eventually they will find some new tenants. It's good real estate. The big thing is the residents in that area have to want to spend their money, and unfortunately, many don't want to spend their money. Which goes to the topic of the amenity caps, which we're going to talk about in just a few minutes. Let's run through the rest of these questions. Mark says, listening while shopping at Costco. Need us to pick up anything for you? Nope, I'm good. I've been to Sam's. It's just the same. All right. Let's see. Todd and Cecile. Hi, Don. Do you think the lights from Coleman would be visible from the homes around Oak Hollow Pool and Postal Station? No. I don't think so. There's a lot of heavy forested area, and just the angle of the lights, they got to come through the trees. You might see an occasional one peek through the trees, especially during the winter months, when all the leaves fall off. But beyond that, no, you're not going to see the lights. Mark says, schedule a new home, 11-month inspection for April with surf and turf. Yep. Yeah, that's a good idea. I get asked this a lot about home inspections. You can't inspect your home before you close, okay? Because technically they still own it until you close. But after you close, you got 1 week to file your initial warranty claim. Get a home inspector. Get somebody to check it thoroughly that knows what they're doing. Tom at Surf to Turf, he does a great job. He's one of my advertisers. I took him on because I was looking for somebody who did this kind of work. And I don't think I've made a bad choice in an advertiser. But also, you have a 1-year warranty. Schedule an inspection at the 11-month point, okay, and get the issues in to the home warranty department. Warranty department's pretty good about taking care of things. Yeah, they're going to fight back on some things, but for the most part, it's good to go. Happy Saturday. Let's see. Jill says, happy Saturday, Don. What is the closest library to the Eastport area? Right now, that is at the Village's Sumter County Service Center, which is up at Pinellas Plaza, where the library is. Yeah, there's a gold dome on the building. That's the local service center. And I believe there's going to be a new one at the new Sumter County Service Center, which is going to be at the corner of 301 and 470. Work has already started on that. That's a big deal. It's going to give us the ability to hold county commission meetings and live stream them. Right now, the big holdup is just dealing with the equipment. There, we're going to have a dedicated meeting room. They'll be able to permanently mount the equipment. The clerk of courts runs all that. And I believe we're going to have a library there also. Let's see. Victoria says, best way to rent a home that has a golf cart included near Brownwood Square for a week or so. We would like to start exploring the villages and all it has to offer. Well, obviously you can do a lifestyle preview, but if you want to go longer than a week, then I'm going to recommend Karen over at Rent from a Villager. if you go look at my YouTube videos, you'll see that their contact information at the end of the videos in the credits and in the bottom of the description. And that's, doggone, this watch is making all kinds of noise. Let's turn it off. In fact, let's get rid of it. We'll put it over here on the charger. Huh. Anyway, I got a clock in front of me on the computer. But that would be the best way. Again, I would contact Karen from rentfromavillager.com and see what you can come up with. Eric says hi. Eric is the owner of. I'll get it out in a second. Oh my gosh, I can't remember. Wait. Fur and Away. I was working on this commercial today. Fur and Away. They're a dog grooming service that comes to your house, and he works with big dogs. I did Sadie, I wish I had Sadie still. Lily and Sully about 3 weeks ago. He did a great job. The dogs responded very well to him, so that was a good thing. Any update on Costco? Yes, actually, I was there yesterday. I was shooting it. The first wall section is up, and they've started pouring the footers for the columns in the foundations. If you remember going back to when CVS was being built, if you looked inside before they put the roof on, there was these X kind of shaped objects in the ground. That's where the columns are supported, and they've set all those. That's all going to be in 153, but they're making progress. They're going really quick. Victoria says, we need to escape the cold. We'll do our lifestyle probably 1 year from now. Yeah, cold is a 4-letter word, just like snow. All right. So I got a couple of questions. Where's 153? If you have never figured out, I have a pretty busy schedule. This past week has been crazy. I had 2 events I had to record, which took 2 complete evenings, and then we had a marathon county commission meeting. Just the whole week has just been a shambles with everything that's been going on. So I didn't get a chance to do a lot of editing. When I did start editing, which was late Sunday night, I started looking at the video footage and realized it was all out of date. So yesterday I spent a bunch of time reshooting some video. This morning I went out, shot some more video. The new Fire Station 49, phenomenal. It's huge. It looks just like the Fire Station 44 over by the Sarasota Golf Course Colony Plaza area, which is where headquarters is. And so it looks like that may be the Southern Command headquarters. Let's see. Oh, this one's a good one. Hey Don, hope you are well. Been hearing complaints about dirt and dust flying around in the new build areas. Has Debbie experienced this down in Moultrie Creek? Thanks for all you do. So yeah, it's a problem. It really is a problem in the areas with the new construction. Why? Well, because there's no houses in those areas. A year ago, there was a lot of dirt and dust down in this area. I can remember this past summer coming across the Bexley Bridge, across the turnpike, coming down towards Eastport, and the winds were really blowing, and it was just a massive dust storm. And people in St. Catharines and all those villages around there, they were all getting hit with all this dust and dirt. And unfortunately, it continues until an area is, done and the dirt is covered. There's no way around it. But by the time you move into your house, though, most of the area around it is already done or covered. So it starts to settle down. But we get some horrendous winds down here that can really, really whip up the dirt. And when it's dry, like it is in the wintertime, Yeah. Yeah, remember, Florida is backwards. Our wet season is the summer. Our dry season is the winter. Right now we're in our fire season because everything is so dry because we don't get a lot of rain during the winter months. Everybody else gets snow and then it melts. We don't get nothing. We don't get, excuse me, don't get nothing. Whew, boy, good English. Mrs. Johnson smacked me upside the head if she heard me speaking like that. Anyway, so yeah, it is what it is. I mean, there's no way around it. Ian B says, what makes you say grocery store in Eastport is Publix? Any news on when they might start building it and finish it? So I've done a lot of research, okay? I got a lot of friends. I know a lot of people in the construction business here in the villages and the surrounding area. And, sometimes we talk over a cup of coffee or a cold beer. They say things, and that's where I've gotten some of that information. When they're going to start building it and finish it, I don't know. I was just looking at it this morning when I ran out to do some more flying because I realized that the shot I had of the south side of Eastport was out of date. Right now, they're using it as a stockpile area. They've got a bunch of Connex boxes there. Connex boxes are the big intermodal trailers that you see. They put them on ships. They put them on the back of trucks. They stack them up in the ports. You'll see them on trains. It's great. It's a great shipping method. But anyway, that's what's going on right now. I don't think it's going to be too much longer till they start in earnest, just because it's really a vital need. They know it, so we'll see what happens. Jay wants to know, am I broadcasting from the home that you have for sale? No, I am not. That house is empty. I am at Debbie's place because I ran out of time. I was going to run back up to the apartment and broadcast like usual, but I ran out of time. Lunch ran late. I mean, I just finished a big plate of spaghetti, 30 minutes ago. So it takes a while to get to the apartment from here. So I stayed down here. I'll be going back up shortly, though, as soon as this is over. Looks like you gave up on the apartment and no, I haven't given up on the apartment. I haven't. When I do sleep here, I do sleep better. I love kids, don't get me wrong, but I'd forgotten what kids were like in an apartment building when they live right above you. All right, so let's talk about, anyway, back to 153. I've been overwhelmed, so I'm working on it. So something I wanted to go over, because I got this the other day when I was checking the mail for Debbie. Look at this, I dropped my headphones. See this here? Yeah, there we go. Sumter County water, blah, blah, blah. Okay, this is not from the county. That is an advertisement for somebody who wants to sell you a water softener. Don't fall for it, okay? When I first moved to Florida 20 years ago, I had one of these water softener people come by, and you got to understand, I was in the Navy, I operated a nuclear reactor. We had to know so much about everything on the plant. One of those big things was water chemistry. Okay, we had to understand the chemistry of the reactor plant and all the different tests that were done and everything. So I got a good working knowledge of chemistry. Well, so they want to do their little demonstration, and I watch the young lady. She goes over, and she goes, poof, opens a water spigot and fills a test tube. And then it was too full, so she stuck her finger in it. I said, stop. You got to clean your glassware. You got to purge the line, so you got a good sample. Then I said, you contaminated the sample when you stuck your finger in it. And then she goes through it all again, this time taking a little more time. And then she starts putting in the chemicals. I said, what's your reagents that you're using? And just like deer in the headlights. What chemicals are you putting in? She didn't know what she was putting in. She didn't know what the precipitant was. They really didn't know anything about water chemistry. They were just, it was all smoke and mirrors. It was shameful. I asked her to finally leave just because, I recognized it for the scam it was. But there is a need for a water softener. There is a need for filters. We live above a massive limestone peninsula. There's a lot of particulate in the water. The water plants do a good job on filtering it out, but obviously it could be better. Somebody's coming to your house trying to show you just how bad your water is. Look at the county test results and the district water plant test results. You can get those going to districtgov.org. You'll see that our water is well within EPA specifications, but that's just a scam. It really is. Let's see. Larry says, Walmart is going in on Morrison 44. The traffic is horrible there. The traffic is horrible. Now, is there a chance it will be golf cart accessible? Sure, there's a chance. 2 chances actually, slim and probably none. There's no way to connect it because both roads are 45 mile an hour or better roads. So you can't cross it with a golf cart. So therefore it has to be a tunnel. Who's going to pay for the tunnel? Okay, and then where's it going to go? There's no easy connection for a golf cart, bridge, or tunnel to get to the existing golf cart paths. The corner there where Chitty Chatty is at, that's a wetlands preserve area. And that's already been established. And if you think that you're going to get SwiftMud, Southwest Florida Water Management District, to relent on a wetlands area, yeah, you're dreaming. So I don't think it's going to be golf cart accessible. Terry wants to know, is the new 7-Eleven location on 301 in Warm Springs going to be built on the Dunkin' Donuts side of Warm Springs or across the street from it? It's going to be on the Dunkin' Donuts side, of course, which means it's not going to be golf cart accessible. I don't know what to tell you. I've seen people cutting across from Dunkin' Donuts, going to and from Dunkin' Donuts in golf carts. I don't think it's wise. It's dangerous. The cars are moving very fast. And by the same token, I've seen people coming out of Sandalwood, not Sandalwood, Continental Country Club, and going over into Bradford. And they're doing it in a golf cart. They're crossing Warm Springs, at that point it's still Morse Boulevard. And it really isn't worth the risk, is it? Is it? I mean, come on. So let's see. What else? All right. So last week we talked about the amenity cap. I went to the AAC meeting and I listened to the presentation by the lawyer. I've known Kevin Stone for about 10 years. He's the lawyer. Not 10 years, I'm sorry, because he was the new lawyer. Anyway, I've known him for several years because I worked with him for CDD-10 and on Project Wide. And he spelled out very clearly that, what would be needed to install a cap. And there can be, basically what he said was, you can't degrade service, you can't take away services, there's agreements in place where everybody gets treated the same. And honestly, reality check. Prices go up everything's costs go up. And there's not a whole lot we can do about it. When the deferral rate was ended, that's right, it's not a cap, it was a deferral rate. The reason was because the amenities districts, both of them, were very close to the point of having to start dipping into capital reserves, which are the reserves that are used for repair and replacement of our amenities. So, because of that, that's why the deferral rate had to end. Wow, we got 145 people on. Thanks everyone for joining in. I understand people are on fixed incomes. That does not change the fact that you signed an agreement that said you understand what the deed restrictions are. Bottom line. I know we all came here with an expectation of a lifestyle. This lifestyle has a cost. If you can't afford the lifestyle, maybe it's time to reevaluate, because, it's, I hear well, I don't play golf like I used to anymore. I don't do this and I don't do that. Again, how do you justify this? How do you justify reducing the cost for one individual over another? It's very complex. It just wouldn't work. All right, we got a couple more comments here. Tom R. says, what company does the warranty work, and are they 100% owned by the villages, like the bank and other businesses? Okay, so the companies that do the warranty work are all the subcontractors. So let's say you have an electrical issue. If Exceptional Electric did the electrical work in your house, then Exceptional Electric will come and do the warranty work. If it was, Mike Scott Plumbing that did the plumbing, they're the ones that are going to come. So every one of the trades that was involved is responsible for their own warranty. They are coordinated, though, through the home warranty department, which is run by the developer. And they hold their feet to the fire. The developer doesn't like warranty calls. So they expect the homes to be built better. And if they have a huge warranty issue with a contractor, that contractor finds that he's got less work to do the next cycle. That's all there is to it. Let's see. So Jay Cozy from the Marshall Islands wants to know, do you have any updates on Harry and the natives? Well, they're putting the roof trusses on and sheeting the roof. I shot that yesterday or day before. It is, the roof is high. It goes up into the trees. So it makes shooting it with a drone a little more difficult. But it's coming right along. That's a restaurant about 4,000 square feet. That is over by the, spaghetti's coming back. It's over by the Okahumpka Recreation Center. It's coming along. So I don't think there's any problems. Again, that's a different group than the original owner, but I think it's going to be a great addition to the area. Speaking of great additions, I had the privilege or the pleasure of meeting with Fred Karmapur, who is the owner of FMK Restaurants. I met him over at Victory Family Sports Grill. Man, that place is huge. They're finishing up. They've got their certificate of occupancy, so now they're fitting out all the interior, and they're going to start training and all that. It's still got a month or so before it's going to open, but they're moving right along. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous. You guys are going to love it. I can't wait to get it open. or to see it when it opens. Fred is a very interesting individual. He started here with his first restaurant back in, what do you say, 2011. And now he's got 14 restaurants. He's very successful. He's been in the restaurant business all his life. So, great guy. Victoria, thank you so much. I appreciate that. The donations do help offset the cost. FMK, they run, oh my gosh, they got so many restaurants. I'm trying to remember them all. Do I have that piece of paper? Oh. Nope, threw it away. Yeah, was cleaning up today, threw away some old paperwork, but I had a sheet from the newspaper with all his restaurants. Sawgrass Tavern is now an FMK restaurant. We talked about that real briefly. It's doing extremely well. He's very happy with it. He's got restaurants all over the place. Evans Prairie, Bonifay, Belglade, they're doing well. And it's not all fried food, which is good because too often we get stuck with just fried food and oh my gosh. I don't know about you all, but I'm done with fried food. Well, not completely done. I'm honestly looking forward to Hooters. I like their chicken. What I like about their chicken though, and I remember it well, was their meaty. I've been to some wings restaurants and you get these little tiny wings like this and there's like half a mouthful of meat on the bone. At least with Hooters, they're huge. If you get the second section, definitely lots and lots of white meat on them. If you get that's the first section. The second section is the one with the two bones. Even those are meaty. So they've always had meaty ribs. I haven't been to Hooters in a few years, but I am looking forward to it. It's not for everyone. It's funny. I read a comment on Talk of the Villages yesterday morning, and an individual made a comment that it basically said, I've been fortunate, I've never been to Hooters, and I never want to go there, it's too trashy. Wait, if you've never been to Hooters, how can you pass judgment? That kind of prejudice just amazes me when I hear it. If you've never been there, how do you know what it's like? Yes, there are attractive young ladies there. Okay. It is what it is. What do they call it? A restaurant. Fine. It is what it is. But Hooters are huge. Oh, God. All right. Thanks, Joseph. That one's going to come back to haunt me, I can tell. Hooters are huge, Don Wiley. Yeah, okay. Nothing like taking it a little bit out of context, is there? All right. So nobody's got any more questions. Okay. Well, you know what? It's that time. So I'm going to play a quick commercial. I'm going to stretch real quick, get a fresh top off on the coffee. I'll be right back.
Everyone craves space and wants things to stay tidy, but climbing conventional attic stairs is risky, and renting storage is costly and inconvenient. A rack above has the solution. A freestanding overhead storage rack that requires no drilling, no attachment, and no garage cleaning. It's the safest, smartest, and strongest way to store your extra items at home and within reach. Your garage items are off the floor and your car is inside. Your peace of mind is restored. Be it in a patio villa or a premier home, a rack above fits your space and keeps you safe. Use it here, then take it to your next home. A rack above.
Whew. Now I remember what I liked about the Courtyard Villa. Everything was really close. This Hillsdale floor plan, it's a long walk from one room to the other. We got the long hallway next to the garage and with the laundry room and all that. It's just, it's crazy. All right, let's see. Brian says, any suggestions about pond water clogging lawn sprinklers. My irrigation water comes out just as green and cloudy as the pond behind the house. Continuously cleaning and replacing the sprinkler heads. Any thoughts? Oh, so there are system filters you can put in there. Um, we do use reclaimed water for our irrigation. Um, so you're going to get that. As far as keeping them clean, most of the sprinkler heads are the ones that shoot the fine fan out of water. Um, change those out. Go to the ones that have the rotator on them. Where it spits out a long stream of things. That will help with clogging the nozzles. Um, but other than that, you can put a system filter on there, but you're going to be cleaning that filter quite a bit. It gets better as the area settles down. The water settles better after it takes a year or two for things to settle down. I don't like this camera. There we go. It takes, like I said, it takes a year or two for the water to settle down, and then things get a lot better. But I know in our house in Hillsboro, I changed out a bunch of sprinkler heads because they were getting clogged. And that was the first year. I don't think I changed more than 2 or 3 out, except for the ones I hit with a lawnmower, over the next almost 10 years that we lived there. So, yeah, be patient. But other than that, system filter is your best bet. We need a Chippendales here for the ladies. You know what? Okay. From what I've seen at Chippendales, guys, we're tame compared to the ladies when it comes to these kind of places. We're going to leave it at that. All right. So, we're losing people. We've got 140 now. We've lost about 9 people. So, anybody else got any questions? You can call. The number's right there on the screen. We can talk live. I look forward to doing that. That's an interesting task that it took me a while to figure out, but now that I got this soundboard, everything is much easier. I just plug it into my phone and away you go. The whole thing about the tunnel under the turnpike. Wow. There's no tunnel under the turnpike. There is a new tunnel near the turnpike, and if you look carefully, when you go past Station 49, okay, that's the new fire station right there just south of Central Parkway. It's out in the middle of nowhere. It's a big building. As you go past it, you'll see a road with a sign that says Station 49 access or something like that. Look in there. You'll see a multimodal tunnel that's been built. The big underground tunnels that we go through with our golf carts. So I shot that today. That was interesting to see that. Craig wants to know, did your villa sell? Not yet. Still waiting. Are you interested? I'll entertain an offer. Hi, Dave. All right, let's see. What do we got here? For new verandas, is there typically a lottery to get the homes? Are you able to pick any interior options? Thank you. So, veranda homes are spec homes. Okay. Oops. Hey, looks like we got a call. Maybe it's... I'm gonna... Hello, this is Don.
Hi, Don. This is Theo. Hopefully, I'm not making any noise, redundant noise. Can you hear me okay?
I turned down my microphones. I forgot that you got to hear my microphone. Okay.
Okay. Um, I, it's a, I'm just trying to see if I should let go of something. So I had the house built, and I paid to put a bracket and a upper place to put a TV in the living room. And I don't know if it was because they did an extension on the room or what it was, but where they ended up putting it is so far over to the left that it's absolutely useless. I mean, you would never put a TV there.
Okay.
And, I provided this back to my agent and went back to, it went back to design. And I mean, they just said, oh, well, we always put the upper, uh, outlet above where the lower outlet is. And it's like, well, that's fine. But, the point is should I just, everything else is great about the place. Should I just forget that I wasted a little money and I'm going to probably have to get that outlet set somewhere else? Or should I make a issue of it when I do the closing walkthrough? Or like I say, should I just be forgetting it?
So the first thing I would do is I would look at the plans. Okay. And measure the distance, make sure they put it in the right spot. If it is in the right spot per the plans, you're stuck, okay? Because you have to sign off on the plans. So they're not going to do anything about it. If it's not where the plans show, then you have room to negotiate and get them to do something. It, you know, not much you can do. If it's in the plans, if it's where the plans say, that's it. It's over.
Well, yeah, we did not look at the electrical plan when we did ended the design appointment. I mean, she just kind of rushed me out of there, and I didn't think to look at that. I was just assuming it would be somewhere sensible. But no,
remember what they
when
say
I
about
look,
assume.
yeah. So I mean, really, I mean, what I wanted more than anything else is it's like I'm going, okay, yes, you put it where you said you were going to put it. You shouldn't have offered it if that's where you're going to put it. Fine, I'll pay for it, no problem. But quit giving it to people. I mean, it's a silly thing. Why, you're putting something somewhere where it doesn't make any sense. Again, I'm not really trying to get them to fix it or anything, but I am frustrated that it's like they won't even acknowledge that, they shouldn't have been selling it.
Um, Many people want it.
Just
Okay.
just
Many
let it
people.
go. Just let it go.
Yeah,
Just let it
I
go.
mean, like I said, measure it. If it's check your plans and measure it, and if it's where it says supposed to be in the plans within a couple of inches, you're not going to have any room to argue. But if it's not in the right spot, then you go back and make an issue of it. Absolutely make an issue of it. Um, and if it's in the wrong spot, generally they're going to fix it, or they'll come to some sort of compromise with you. Um, Getting an outlet moved is generally not a big deal. In this house, I had extra outlets put out in the garage. I called Galaxy Home Solutions, and they came out, and I had to have outlets put up in the attic for the magic stairs and the magic lift. I had another 30 amp circuit dropped in the garage for my air compressor. Um, so it's easy enough to do. Okay, I actually had a 220 outlet put in the laundry room because Debbie doesn't like a gas dryer. She wanted her electric dryer. Some arguments aren't worth having, uh, but
Right.
so it's easy enough to do. If you're now, I'm sure they put in the sheet of OSB for mounting the television, right?
Right, but yeah, it's in the wrong place.
Okay, so
It's not in the middle of the wall.
so honestly, I that's one I would not worry about, and I'll tell you why.
Okay.
Go down to Lowe's, go down to Home Depot. They have hollow wall fasteners that are designed for TVs. Okay, they're like $2 a piece. You can buy a box of 10 for $12. Okay, they're about this long, and they've got huge toggles on them. You drill a 3/8 inch hole in the wall and you stick it through, and They're designed to hold 175 to 375 pounds, depending on the size you get. And let's see, I can't show you this TV up here. I got a TV on the wall up here on my left, the TV in the master bedroom, the TV in our living room. They're all put up the same way with those same toggles. So the TVs today are so light, it's not an issue, a load issue anymore. You don't really need the OSB. So don't worry about that particular aspect of it. I don't worry about finding a stud or anything like that. Really the biggest thing is power. Because, most of the time your connection for the video these days is, for most people, is across your Wi-Fi network. So,
Right.
Very good. So again, the wall, I wouldn't worry about. The outlet, measure it. If it's in the right spot, then give Galaxy Home Solutions a call. They can move it for you. If it's in the wrong spot, if it's more than a couple of inches, you can make an issue out of it. Oh.
Very good.
All right.
Thank you for your help.
All right. Thanks, Theo. Thanks for calling.
All righty. Bye.
Bye. All right, we got another call. This is Jill. Hello, Jill.
Hey, Don, I know you wanted me to call, and I figure it's easier to call you than just to type it in the question mark.
Okay.
So the question I have is, does the village have any rhyme or reason as to how they develop neighborhoods? I had been told from someone else that they tend to start on the edges, on the perimeter of neighborhoods and work their way in. What can you say about that?
Well, in the 11 years that I've been here, the first homes that always put up for sale were patio villas and courtyard villas. And now they've added verandas to that mix. Those have all been in high demand for as long as I've been here. So that continues to be the trend. But they also, spec homes, they do a lot of those. As far as the direction, they start at one end and they try and work to the other. And that just is because of construction traffic. Okay? But is there a rhyme or reason where they start? That one I don't have an answer for. Because if we look at the new, what do they call them, garden villas, that they've just put in Well Point. Those are there. They've released the unit next to it, unit 184. They released it. They sold like crazy. We talked about that the other day. But then when you look, you go half a mile down, and there's unit 190. It's a bunch of veranda homes, and that's at the south end by the postal station.
By the Well Point or by the Oak Hollow Postal Station?
By the Oak Hollow Postal Station.
Do you think they'll develop that area south of Well Point Postal or the Well Point Pool soon?
Yes. Yeah. I mean, that's where they appear to be focusing now. Is the area as it goes south of Well Point. And they're moving now. They've listed the first set of homes in Oak Hollow. Let me see.
That was by the electrical substation, wasn't it?
Yes, that was the units by the electrical substation. Those had very low price points. I was surprised. I was just trying to pull it up here. Homes.
I wouldn't care to live over there.
I mean, some people it bothers them, some people it doesn't. It's a matter of personal preference. There are places that I would not live for my own reasons, but I'm not here to try and dissuade anybody from one area or the other. Everybody has their preferences. And of course, the village's website is not coming up today. Oh well.
I noticed on their website, Don, that they give a little hint that they're going to move into an area. I noticed when they kind of have some of the roads on their site.
Yeah.
Where
that's a good clue.
that is a clue that they're getting there. And because when I look in other areas, there's no roads or anything. It's like, well, that's not quite on the horizon. So that area that they just released next to the electrical substation had the roads, and I see some roads just south of there. I think that's the next area they'll
Yeah,
release.
yeah, they're moving south now through Oak Hollow. Um, you know, they where those garden verandas are or garden villas are. There's two more sections. I'm not sure whether they're going to be patio villas or courtyard villas or more garden villas. But you know, you can tell looking at the streets that it's going to be a villa community because they all have the little pigtails on them, and the pigtails in the community are so the fire department has access to more than just the front of the house.
Oh, okay. All
Um,
right.
okay,
Don, you're the best.
thank you.
I'll keep listening.
All right,
Thank
Jill.
you.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.
All right. Okay, let me get rid of these headphones. Oh. Oh. Reminds me of my days in the Navy when I used to wear sound-powered phones all the time in the control room. You sit there with a set of those things on for 6 hours sweating. It's just such a joy. That's a Navy thing. All right. We got a bunch of comments that came in while we were talking. Let's see. We talked about the sprinkler system. Let's see. Oh, I lost where I was at here. Oh, okay. More came in than I thought. Let's see. All right. This is from Mark. He says, what have your personal experiences with Community Watch, if any? What is the best thing about Community Watch? I've had pretty much very positive experiences with Community Watch, unless I had my drone remote in my hand. But that's a different story. But generally, they are very helpful. There's been times where the phones rang in the middle of the night saying, "Hey, Don, you left your garage door open," and I'm very appreciative of that. But for the most part, it's been good. They do a good job. They're looking out for us. They also are very helpful with if there's a police or fire incident, you'll always see Community Watch there. They go out and they help with traffic control and redirecting people so that the police and the fire department don't have to get involved with that more mundane aspect of it. They can deal more with dealing with the individuals that are involved. So Community Watch, overall, very good. Let's see. David wants to know, do you know what they are building south of 44 on 301? South of 44 on 301. Give me a second. Oh, yeah. It's a Horizon Shopping Center. It's a strip mall. That's all it is. Does new construction come with sprinkler systems, or is it an upcharge? No, all the homes here come with sprinkler systems. I don't know of a single home that doesn't have an in-ground sprinkler system. C.K. Murphy says, when will the Design Center move from the old Street of Dreams to the new Street of Dreams in Wellpoint? Any insights and any thoughts on Eastport opening timetable? Wow, okay, a couple of good questions. So it's still going to be a couple of more weeks. My understanding is that they sold off some of the original Street of Dreams. They got 3 homes they still have to build there. That'll be interesting to see those lots go up for sale. But about half of the houses have been sold. They have a 60-day close, though. Instead of the typical 30-day close, it's 60 days. And that's going to give them time to transition from the old Street of Dreams to the new Street of Dreams. I honestly was shocked, but as I thought about it more and more, it kind of makes sense. If you look where they're going to be building for the next year and a half or so, it's going to be Wellpoint. It's going to be Oak Hollow. It's going to be LaGrange. It's going to be Edenfield. Okay, so Street of Dreams is closer to those homes. When they were working Wellpoint, or not Wellpoint. Shady Brook and Moultrie Creek and Water's Edge. Street of Dreams is down here. They move it around a lot. I was just surprised that they moved it so quickly. But a couple more weeks, I think, and then they'll have those facilities for design up there. Eastport timetable. I was giving a lot of thought to that over the last couple of days because I've been looking at it. I reshot a bunch of video because some of the stuff I had was out of date, and they got a lot to go. They haven't even started finish work on the interior for any of the commercial properties. So, honestly, I think we're probably looking another 6 months before Eastport opens. So, into summer, beginning of fall is probably not unreasonable. Middleton, if you read the newspaper, they're talking first quarter, second quarter, and third quarter for opening of all the different restaurants on that, and other places. They've got Custom Apparel going in there now. They got Wolfgang Bakery going in there. I think they're right next to each other between Middleton 24 and Four Rivers. But those are all coming, mainly second quarter and that. So Middleton's going to happen first. All right. Let's see. Well, they already sold. Okay. Let's see. Mike B says, we had our design meeting that week and we're wondering why it was overrun with folks. Turns out they're being sold. Yep. New construction of sprinklers. I bet the house sold quickly. Yep. All right. Also a lot. Yeah, there was a lottery for that. I mean, anytime there's something with a high demand, I think now everything is done. Every home is done with a lottery, unless it's sitting open. If it hasn't sold and it's sitting there in inventory, then there's no lottery. First come, first serve. But the lottery, it's not a lottery. It's just everybody's name is put into a hat and the computer randomly draws one out. Okay. New design. Okay, so 2 weeks is what Brian is saying that his salesperson said 2 weeks they'll be in the new Street of Dreams doing their, design in 2 weeks. Okay, cool. I will tell you, trying to keep up with this developer is a challenge. They're so fast at what they do. They're not taking shortcuts. They've taken all the slack out of a construction schedule. Everything is so well coordinated. Honestly, you couldn't build 3,000 to 4,000 homes a year if you weren't well coordinated. You'd go broke. But it is phenomenal to watch them build. Having worked in construction for 20 years before I retired, I saw the right way to do things. I saw the wrong way to do things. This is definitely the right way to do things. They are so good. They're not waiting. The house never sits waiting for the next contractor. It's always there. Let's see. Victoria says, do you think they will ever offer fences with any new models besides verandas, villas? So they are still offering a privacy fence, okay, in the back of the houses. When you go north of 44, they call them kissing lanais. The homes, they're 20, 30 feet apart. So if you're sitting out on the lanai, reading the morning paper, and your neighbor is too, you can smell their coffee in the morning because they're so close. And they've tried putting in a vinyl fence between them. Now they're doing a solid wall. Different aspects. They're not putting in the side fences though, so just the back between the backs of the houses. So that's going to continue to happen. That seems to have been very well received. But if they come up with another design, then it's going to be called a veranda or a villa or whatever. They want to differentiate them. But I don't think you're going to see the ability to do a custom build on a lot with a fence, with a fully fenced-in yard. If they did, oh, I think they would. If you think it's tough getting a lot now, I think that'll be even tougher to be able to do a custom build with a lot, with a fence, and the idea with the fence, the main attraction is the two P's: pets and privacy. That's why courtyard villas, have always sold well. That's why verandas sell well. People want their privacy. People want, want their pets to be able to go out in the backyard and not be saddled with, having to walk outside with them. Lily and Sully, and Jesse and Sadie when we got Jesse and Sadie, when we lived down in Haines City, and we had Bo too. I forgot about him. But we had a fenced-in yard. We had a dog door in the bathroom that went out to the lanai, and then there was a door from the lanai out into the yard, and life was good. And that was the first thing we put in to our courtyard villa, was a dog door, and same thing with the veranda, the dog door, because we have the fenced-in yard, and it's great with the dogs. If Debbie's out playing bingo all day, she doesn't have to worry about getting home in a hurry to let the dogs out, so there's not a mess. All right. Okay, let's see. Ian B says, Don, you never answered Jay Cozy's question about verandas and told him they're all built and furnished before they put up for sale, and you don't get to pick options, and all are sold by lottery. Okay, let me go back up to his question, because that answers all the questions. So, yes. So, Jay, again, yes, they're all typically by lottery because of the high demand. No, you don't get to pick any interior options. You get what you get, which is why we spent 4 months refinishing this house. And we put the plantation shutters in there. You can see them over my left shoulder. We put in crown molding. We painted. Just whatever. If you buy a spec home, if you're like most people, you're going to spend 10% more on finishing it out. That's what we ended up doing. It was painful, but Debbie likes it. She's happy. I'm happy. You know the story, right? If she ain't happy, you ain't happy. And if she ain't happy long enough, you're unhappy with only half your stuff. But anyway, all right. So we are at 4 o'clock. So Debbie reminded me at the midpoint break when I grabbed some more coffee. Oh yeah, we're playing cards again tonight. Can't wait. Here we go. Jerry Bell says, any truth to the rumors that you are changing your name to Hooters Wingnut? No truth to the rumor at all. Yeah, I am considering a name change for the company, though. I had a Chinese company send me multiple emails wanting to know about licensing the name and things like that. And honestly, if they put enough zeros down on a piece of paper, I can change the name, and it'd be an easy thing to do. But apparently a gold wingnut is a lucky thing. Oh, speaking of gold wingnuts, I got to show you this. Look at this. Where's the camera? There it is. You know what that is? That is a true gold-plated wingnut. One of my followers gave that to me a couple of weeks ago. I'd forgotten about it. It's been sitting up here on the desk. But yeah, apparently that was something with their company, and so that is a gold-plated wingnut. So that is truly a gold wingnut. I thought that was kind of cool. Occasionally you get something like that, and it's like, yeah, you got to hold on to that. That's a great thing. Thank you very much. So anyway, any more questions? We had 2 calls today. That's great. I'm just curious, how was the sound on the call? I mean, it sounded good in the headphones, but I don't hear what goes out. I have to rely on. Can't catch a break on the Hooters issues. Yeah, I know. Jeepers creepers. Gold Hooters. Oh gosh. Guys, let it go. Let it go. Let's see. Jerry says, where is all the sod grown for the homes? Did you ever do a video on the sod farms? No, I've never done a video on the sod farms. I will tell you, some of the sod is grown locally. When I say locally, when the area down by the Bexley Bridge was under construction, they had a huge sod farm out there, and they harvested that and they used it for like along the retention ponds. But there are some sod farms in the southern part of the county, and I know that in Polk County, along Route 60, there's some massive sod farms out there. I used to live down there in Haines City. It was about 10 miles north of that, and when I'd have to go down south, I'd always pass the sod farms. They're huge. But where they're at, getting it locally, obviously, sod farms there's a lot of them here in the local area. There's a lot of nurseries, trees and all that do a tremendous amount of business. If you go down 471, you'll see several of them. Calls sounded good. That's good to know. A large sod farm in Fort McCoy. I have no idea where Fort McCoy is, but interesting bit of trivia. Orlando's airport, the initials on it is MCO, right? Everybody knows what MCO stands for? Mickey created Orlando, right? No. Actually, it was for McCoy Field. That was what was originally there. When I went through nuclear power school in 1980, McCoy Field was still there. It's changed so much since 1980. I mean, okay, it's been 45 years. Imagine that. Jeepers. I was young. I was dumb. Anyway. So anybody else got any questions? I mean, that was a good one, though, about the sod grown. Polk County is home to our favorite sheriff. Sheriff Grady. Yes. He is a character. He doesn't take any nonsense. I was in Polk County. I was in Haines City when there was that big incident where some guy took some shots at one of the sheriff's deputy, and they got him cornered, and they ended up shooting him like 88 times. And at the news conference, I can remember Sheriff Grady said, somebody asked Sheriff Grady, how do you justify shooting him 88 times? Well, we ran out of bullets, or else it would have been more, was pretty much his answers. I was like, all right, good attitude. But yeah, the guy is great. He doesn't take any grief. We got a new sheriff now here in Polk County, Sheriff Breeden. He is a great guy. I've gotten the opportunity to know him over the last couple of years. We're going to miss Sheriff Farmer. He was an icon in the state for county sheriffs. I think he was sheriff for 28 years here in Polk County. Great man. Fort McCoy is between the Villages and Gainesville. Between the Villages and Gainesville is a lot of area. Just on the other side of Silver Springs. Okay. Fort McCoy is east of Ocala in the National Forest, unless there's a different one. Okay. Great to know. Never went looking for it, Wow. All right. Oh, here we go. How does the village... So Joe wants to know, how does the villages select subcontractors for building new homes? Is there a process they go through for potential builders? I don't know their hiring process as far as, bringing on new subcontractors. They have, what was it I was told once, 140, give or take, subcontractors that they use for the building of the houses. So they'll have they got like 3 electricians, 3 plumbers, so that adds up to the big numbers, but you get one of them. But as far as who's building your house, are you getting Galaxy? Are you getting Exceptional Electric? Are you getting, some other electrician? I don't know how they do it. When we were first moved here, the general contractors, they have contractors, and there'd be like West is one of the contractors. He'd have like 3 houses in a row for spec homes, and then one of the other contractors would have 3 houses, and so on and so forth. And back then, Jimmy Chickalo was the one who did all the custom builds, and now I've seen West doing custom builds. So things change, but if you're looking to go to work with them as a contractor, just reach out to construction management. I'm sure they'll point you in the right direction. Victoria says, I was wondering where you came up with your name. My dad gave it to me. I'm actually Donald L. Wiley Jr. My dad's name is Donald L. Wiley Sr. That's how I got my name. No, that's not. I know that's not what you're asking. You're asking about the Gold Wingnut. So I ride a Honda Goldwing when I have the time and I get a chance. I enjoy the heck out of it. Years and years ago, when I first started logging online, you had to have an online name. So when I logged into Talk of the Villages, they wanted an alias or a name, and I said, okay, Goldwing Nut, and Goldwing as in the motorcycle, and Nut as in kind of crazy. But as I started producing videos over the years, people got to know me as Gold Wingnut, and when I decided to go into business, I realized that Goldwing Nut didn't really work for an aerial photography company, but Gold Wingnut was a better fit. So, that's where it came from. People knew me as Gold Wingnut, and that's why I kept it. I just changed the wording around a little bit. Mushki says, darn, I'm late. I didn't get notified. Oh, sorry about that. Yep, we've been online for an hour and 12 minutes, which, that's it takes a lot to talk for an hour and 12 minutes. Some days I wonder how I do this. Again, we've been doing this now for just over a year. Every week we get about 150 people, and then over the course of the following week, anywhere from 2,000 to 5,000 views of the videos that's being recorded right now on YouTube. So it's I'm very pleased with this. It was yeah, Muskie, we talked a little bit about amenities, not too much though. Nothing has come of it other than some we have some supervisors on the board that don't understand the word no. Yeah, Jerry, we talked about 153. I'm working on it. I had to reshoot a whole bunch of video footage, and right now I've got 140 gigabytes of video footage I'm sifting through right now to get the clips I want. So it takes a little while, but I'm working on it. Hopefully this week won't be as hectic as this past week was. Anyway, yeah, I enjoy doing this. I enjoy talking with people out on the streets. If you see me when I'm out flying, don't be afraid to stop and talk. if I don't look you in the eye, it's because I'm watching the drone. Okay, I've got to watch the drone while I'm in the air, but I can talk and fly at the same time. And I don't mind talking with folks and answering their questions. It's a lot of fun. So, that being said, life is short. Enjoy it to the fullest. The expression "carpe diem," seize the day, because you truly have no idea what tomorrow is going to bring. With that, I will say thank you all very much for watching, and look for it next week. Also, look for the next 5-minute update. I've got that video footage in the can. It takes me about 2 hours to edit it, and hopefully by midnight tonight it'll be out. Anyway, any updates on Brownwood Theater construction? Good last minute question, Terry. I have no idea what's going on there. I can't find out anything about it. But anyway, thank you all once again. With that, we will call it a day.
Everyone craves space and wants things to stay tidy, but climbing conventional attic stairs is risky, and renting storage is costly and inconvenient. A rack above has the solution. A freestanding overhead storage rack that requires no drilling, no attachment, and no garage cleaning. It's the safest, smartest, and strongest way to store your extra items at home and within reach. Your garage items are off the floor and your car is inside. Your peace of mind is restored. Be it in a patio villa or a premier home, a rack above fits your space and keeps you safe. Use it here, then take it to your next home. A rack above.